TheRustyCracker, I'm sure you've all heard of him. The guy's been blowing up on YouTube, making truck videos, showing people what the truck life is like, delivering loads, and educating a bunch of people with mechanic tips and everything in between. Well, little do you know that I'm actually his editor, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how I edit TheRustyCracker's videos. I'm also going to be exposing him, if you may, talking about what kind of person he is in reality, what's the working experience, and spoiler alert, working with him involves a lot of thumbs up emojis. By the way, Rusty, if you're watching this, I love working with you, buddy, but god damn it, slow down on them thumbs up, bro. Before we begin, could you please, Rusty, crack that subscribe button? I'm trying to reach 500 subscribers, do a bunch of content like this where I showcase how I edit for a bunch of people, and so on and so forth. I've actually been working for Rusty for about a month, or maybe even 2 at this point, and the latest videos that you see are all done by yours truly. So how does an average video with Rusty go? Well, it starts by downloading all of his footage that he sends me. It's done via Google Drive, and the videos vary from like 50 little clips all the way up to 150 clips. Those clips range from a couple of seconds showing some footage of him driving on the highway to maybe 5 minutes at most I've ever had. Just him talking and explaining a bunch of stuff on camera. Okay, so this is a rule I like to follow on every genre that I do. When I say every, I really do mean every. Everything has to start with a plan and with organization, which is why I like to go through a bunch of his videos. The first 2 are actually just duds. When I say duds, I mean like just black screen, nothing really shown. And in the 3rd or 4th video, the footage actually kicks in. What I actually like to do is go through the entirety of the videos and take notes, aka write down videos that don't have any talking with them. Because remember, I also do edits on every video and I need footage for that. So in every video where there is no sound and just B-roll of him driving, I take note of that specific clip. Or as the videos where there is a bunch of talking, I just throw them into the timeline. So these edits add at least 1 or 2 minutes to the entire video, but they can go up to 3 and even 4, depending on the type of video. So after I was done organizing everything on this specific video, I had a bunch of material for edits and roughly 15 minutes on the video itself. Which obviously means that I have to start rough cutting everything. When I say rough cutting, I don't mean completely shortening everything so every second counts. Not because I can, but it's because that's not what Rusty wants. He doesn't want the video to be too fast-paced because of his audience. And that's something I can completely understand and respect. At the end of the day, it makes the job easier for me, so hey, fuck it. I cut out the end parts, the beginning parts, so there's no breathing in and breathing out or long, awkward pauses at the end of the video. So I start by rough cutting and again taking notes of things which I want to be included on that specific part of the video in case I forget in the future. I'll actually add beeps sometimes if it's like something I want to see right there and then. If the beep looks good, hey, moving on. If it doesn't, I'll just remove it and remove the note with it. I actually got to make sure I'm recording well because is this thing even working? Oh, that spiked. Okay, I can see the spike. Yeah, it works. So just rough cutting, right? Like how much time can the video lose by just rough cutting? 2 minutes! The video lost 2 minutes and went from 15 to 13 minutes. But I want everyone to remember that I'm not really a never-ending source of energy. Just like everybody else, I burn out and I need a break. However, if I'm really energetic and I have a pill of up my ass, I like to spend those 15 minutes surfing through the one and only NCS for music that I can use for the edits and for the video in general. I also do like to text Rusty the songs I've selected just in case he doesn't like them or he has specific music in mind. And of course, the entire process, the rough cutting, the transitions, everything is being sent to Rusty. He's basically in control of every step that the video goes through. Now, after the rough cutting is done, I start adding some transitions, some little bits here and there, you know, like some J cuts, some bleeps, put down some markers of some notes, which sounds like a very tedious process, but the truth being told, I only select like maybe 4 or 5 transitions, put some markers on them so I know where they are, and then it's just really a matter of copy pasting transitions so it looks professional, because that's the only quality I say quality. because that's the only quality I deliver. Copy pasting does make it easier, but at the end of the day, I do have to choose the right transition for the right moment. I can't just blindly shove stuff in there hoping it's gonna look good. It won't. It needs some attention. And if you're watching the video, yes, that is my dog supporting me and sitting next to me. She loves me. Her name is Mira and I love her. Mira, let's get some spotlight in the video. There you go. Hey baby, you want to say hi to the camera? You want to say it? Okay. Okay, you really rude, but you know, any comments? Noted. So after the transitions are done, you can pretty much say that the roots of the video are created. Now in comes the giant fucking tree. And by that I mean like zoom in, zoom out, transitions, sound effects, photos, GIFs. Basically the thing that makes the video the video. And if you're asking me what about color correcting, yeah, trust me, the video doesn't need that. I've tried. It had a pretty bad result, let's just say that. Now, I make it sound like it's one big easy thing to do, but in fact, it's not. And in fact, for this video, I was extremely burnt up. Because remember, while I'm editing, I'm also writing a script for this video. And by the way, I feel like this video is gonna get uploaded way later than the actual video, which I've edited for Rusty. Because you know, I got a couple more clients. I got this thing called life. I'm 20 years old. I go to a university. I have to study. I have to study. So long story short, I was extremely burnt up. So what do I do in this scenario? I'm extremely burnt up, but work has to be done. Break down that son of a bitch into smaller parts. So instead of doing everything all together, first I do the animations, then I like to add some sound effects and some pictures, and then finally GIFs, which does make the process a little bit easier for me because it's less pressure and less thinking I have to do. And at the same time, I can look at the video multiple times to make sure there's nothing that's flawed, not losing a % of its quality and making sure it's as good as I can get it. Because yeah, you may miss a moment once, but when you do that motherfucker 5 times in a row, you're eventually gonna see it. And oh, by the way, I forgot to record that part of the video, so here's a clip of the entire result basically. To absolutely no one's surprise, the editing in background music comes last. Because I would much rather just choose one song that I can have playing in the background and then just turn up the volume for when the edit part comes in. Something I didn't forget to record was the subtitles. Thanks to Premiere Pro, the subtitles are actually auto-generating. The first video on Rusty's channel, I actually had to manually transcribe half of the video. I think about 1/3 of the video. I believe it was the burnt Amazon trailer. The first part of the video is done with my subtitles that has like a yellowish sort of color, and the second part is done through a more orangish outline of the subtitles that was generated by Premiere. That took approximately half an hour to do, whereas in manually generating those subtitles, yeah, it took me half an hour to do 1 minute. But that doesn't mean that subtitles are a piece of cake all the time. I still have to do a fair bit of work to make sure they're perfect, especially on this video where there was Ukrainian talking and I had to type in what they were saying manually myself. But yeah, you can actually look at the footage right now. You can see that I added some Ukrainian flags to add some finesse, and I had to manually adjust them on every single line to make sure they were perfectly symmetrical, because if they weren't, it would give me Long story short, the subtitle phase was done as well. All I have to do now is just add the commercial in the middle of the video, add a nice little fade into it, throw that video into media encoder, export that bad boy, and we're done. Psych! We're not even close to being done. Next stage is going to be cutting out shorts, because I do that as well. Yes, most of them are done by me. And finally, the thumbnail. Yes, if you haven't noticed a change in thumbnails recently, it's because I started doing them. I would, by the way, like to know that this thumbnails are some of the best ones I've done so far. And so I usually start with color correcting, then I like to move on to changing the sky, which does involve a lot of manual cutting and erasing, which is not difficult thanks to the magic wand tool. By the way, if you haven't noticed already, I use GIMP. It's like Photoshop but the bare bones version. I don't know, I'm really comfortable with GIMP. I like using it. Do some outlines, add a text that either Rusty tells me or the one that I think will attract people and increase the click-through rate. And finally, after the thumbnail is done, I can finally send it to Rusty and call it a day. Except I can't, because he didn't really like the thumbnail which I've made. By the way, leave a comment in the description down below, because I want to know which thumbnail you liked more. The first one, which was done by me and my idea, or was it the second one that Rusty recommended me? And so yeah, he didn't like the thumbnail, and he said it was cool, but my policy states that no client will be left unsatisfied. So I went ahead and I did the thumbnail all over again. I know that there are going to be so many people that comment, oh, he's basically scamming you. Oh, you're doing so much work. Shut the fuck. This man is paying me premium dollar. When I say premium dollar, I mean and so with that money, I deliver. If anything, he didn't want to do it in the first place. He just said he wanted to improve things next time. But I insisted that we are going to do a thumbnail that he likes. When you pay me a specific amount of money, you get a specific amount of revisions. The number is actually infinite, but you get the point. Working with me, you're supposed to gain quality for your money and much more value that money can give. So I did the thumbnail all over again, and this is the second thumbnail which I have finished doing. And so after the second thumbnail was done and my boy Rusty was satisfied, I sent him absolutely everything via Google Drive, and we are done with the video. Guys, please subscribe. I'm trying to reach 500 subscribers. Someone texted me. I thought a girl texted me. I was really excited. Turns out it was a notification from Instagram that I need to update Instagram.